Hey everyone, it's Megan. I'm finally back. It's been too long again. It's been 2 months, I think, from my last Flosstube, but I'm here, and because it's been long, I have a good amount of projects to show you today. So I'm excited. A little out of practice, so bear with me. Yeah, I actually did have a new start since my last one, even though I said I'm not gonna have any new starts because I just don't have really the capacity for that right now. But this was an exception because my friend is getting married and she lives in the US. I'm in Norway, and I'm planning on trying to get back there for her wedding in January. So I had to do something for her, right? And I've been meaning to stitch something for her for a long time, and it's just never happened. Actually, since I got back into stitching in 2020 or 2021, I was like, okay, I'm gonna stitch something for her, but yeah, haven't got around to it. So this was a good excuse. So I'm gonna show you that. I also, in the process of that, had a UFO or unfinished object that I'm not really coming back to anytime soon. And then I have, I don't know how many whips, but a good amount. So let's get into it. So the new start, well, first I'll show you the one that I had started and I'm not gonna finish. And that was just for her. It wasn't really a wedding thing. It was just something I'd wanted to stitch for her for a while, and I was gonna try and finish it by January to give to her in person. But I'm not finishing it now, maybe in the future, but it's on my iPad. I can show you the mock-up. And this was very kindly gifted to me from the shop owner, Weasel Designs. And she is on Etsy and she does different dogs. I think it's only no, she does mostly dogs, but she does other types of designs too. So you can check her out. I'll put her shop below. And this was really nice because I was looking through, and I don't have a dog, or I'm not really a dog stitcher or person, but my friend, her dog, Gage, a pit bull, she had had as a rescue for 10 years or so, and when the person contacted me, he was getting sick, and I was like, well, I sent her a picture of her dog, and she made a pattern specially for her that looked just like her dog, and it's now available in her shop, and it's called Brown Pittie. And I'll show you a picture. And it looks just like the picture I sent. Unfortunately, he had passed away end of last year. But I thought, well, that would be a great thing to stitch for her. And I started it. However, this thing is big. It is big. It is 17,000 something stitches. And so I'll show you my start. I actually got quite a bit on it. And it's on a 32 count, just a piece of fabric I had. Oh, the colors, okay, you can't see very well in this lighting. Okay, if I go in close, you can see there's 2 colors in there. Mostly 379, and then a little bit of, I think it's 434 around the edge. You can see the contrast much better in person. And this was quite a bit of stitching. You know, it went pretty fast just because it was all, well, 2 colors, but kind of monotonous stitching. And this is like the fabric size, so it would take up, you know, quite a bit of that. And in order to finish it by January, when I would see her, I would have to do, what was it? 700 stitches a week. And honestly, that I would just be stitching this basically, and that just with the time that I have these days. So I was, and also it's not like for them, it would just be for her. So I decided that's not going to be the one that I do now, even though because of the size, I know this detail would turn out great. It would look very realistic, but just not for right now. So for now, it's a UFO. And instead I decided to do more of like a wedding thing for them. So I went on Etsy, of course, looking around. I can show you the mock-up. I found one by, it's called, the shop is StitchesLoversShop. StitchesLoversShop on Etsy. So I'll link that below as well, but it is called Adventure Awaits. And that's not their names, but obviously you can put their own names in. And the date, and this is perfect for her and both of them because she loves nature, hiking, like doing things outdoors. So this was a perfect one. And it's much more manageable at about 6,500 stitches. So if I wanted to get it done in time, I have to do, I think it's about 40 to 45 stitches a day, which is totally manageable. So I'm trying to aim for 50 a day. I haven't quite made that every day yet, but on average, if I do that, I think I'll be good in time to frame it and everything. So, and it's a much more fun stitch because, let me show you the colors. Look at these fun, bright colors instead of just browns. This lighting is not so great for colors, but that's pretty good. Like, just such fun, bright colors. So that's exciting, even though right now I'm just still in the black of the words. And I got, I'll show you. I really like the wording, the style of the letters, a little see-through, but I hope it's showing up the right way for you guys because it's backwards right now, but it's on also, I believe, yeah, 32 count, some kind of linen that I just had in my stash. It didn't have a name. So I'm loving how it's coming along. It's a quicker stitch for sure. Right now I am at, where is it? I got 660 stitches so far and it's already 10.12%. So not bad. It's July now, so I can get this done. All right. I'm good at stitching things for other people. I get them done. It's just ones for myself I don't get much progress on. All right. So next, sorry, I know there's going to be some bad openings here. Okay, my other daily piece, now that I have two, is my one that I'm doing one strand a day on. So I've mentioned before, I picked something that I want to see progress on steadily, but it's not like something I want to sit and stitch for a long time. So I decided to just do one strand per day, and I'm posting my weekly progress on Instagram, which is at Stitching Moon. Yeah, just Stitching Moon. And it's this one by the Prairie Schooler, 3 Billy Goats Gruff. And it's a lot of stitching, but this one is for my daughter, who's 4, and she really loves the story of the 3 Billy Goats Gruff. And I love this because it just tells the story in the picture. So, you know, here they're running out of grass. So they want to cross the bridge to the green grass, but there's a little troll, and then this billy goat, the big one, bumps them off into the water, and then they're happily ever after. So I'm in 18. Oh, let me take it off the hoop. I'm in the middle of, well, I've done 18 weeks, so I'm in the middle of 18 and a half weeks along on this. Just one strand a day, and it's great to see how quickly, well, fairly quickly, the progress adds up. I don't have a percentage because I'm just doing it from the paper pattern, but when I started the one strand, I had most of this billy goat done and the 3. But 18 and a half weeks later of just a strand a day, here I am. I'm in the water for a long time. I feel like I'm gonna be swimming in that water for quite a while. And then after that, I just have the bottom half, which is also very dense stitching. The goats and the grass is pretty much full coverage. So it's still gonna take a while, but I know I'll be able to get it done by her birthday in early March, which was the goal. So, and I started it working on the one strand on her birthday. So yeah. And I'm gonna keep this going. I really like this concept on things that I don't really like sitting down and stitching quite like a lot of at once. So I'm gonna pick another project to do this on after I finish this one. It works if you're busy and don't have a lot of time to stitch. So next, oh, and you can use on Instagram hashtag one strand a day or search for that. And I know someone else is posting their progress on it, and that's really fun to just look at and see how far we can come. So what do I want to show next? Let's do the one that's right here. This one is a pretty new full coverage I started from Heaven and Earth Designs. I love, love, love this one. It's called Venus. Artwork by Sue Clyne and charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. I really love her artwork. I want to stitch quite a few of them because I just love the colors and the subjects. She has a lot of unicorn ones, but they're so pretty. Okay. And some goddess ones like this. Yeah. It just reminds me of me and my son, my baby. He's still a little baby. And I feel like he's staying a baby longer in a way, even though he's growing fast, because he's like not, like my daughter was like super early in everything, like very active, like standing on her own with like holding on to something by 6 months, crawling by 6 months, like just super active. And he's almost 9 months and he's not crawling yet. So boys are slower, right? But let's see. What do I have on this one? Okay, so this one, I'm not stitching all that background. Oh, I just put it back, but you can see all that background is stitched, but I am not stitching that. So I am farther than it looks percentage wise. And I got this fabric that looked similar and it's working out great. So this fabric, who was it by? Oh, forgot again to look at that, but hand-dyed fabric. And I found her on Etsy and I'll link her below, but love this fabric. Again, the colors are kind of washing out there. I'm doing it 10 stitch, 2/1 10 stitch. So it's going fairly quickly. The only thing is, I think when I was taking away the background, I think this is like too square. I think I was supposed to kind of cut out that one, like that part right there. So I have to go through that again and just make sure it's not too like blocky. It's a little tough, like stitching around the edges, but once I get kind of past the horn thingies, then it's going to be a little easier to just, you know, stitch like normal. What am I at? So once I took out all the background or marked those as complete, it's 117,879 stitches in 30.58%. So it's my farthest along full coverage. So yeah, I'm also going to stitch, there's like a little butterfly over here somewhere. All right, next, I'll just pull what's there in front of me. This one I took out recently to work on just because I was like itching to do it and work on it. I haven't in a while. It was a birthday start like a few years ago, I think. But it is the Dimensions Gold Fall Fairy. My favorite of their fairies. I absolutely love the colors in this and the contrast. Oh, it's gorgeous. So I pulled this one out to work on. I think I only got 2 days on it. Yeah. And it's funny because I posted it on Instagram and it got a lot of love, but everyone's like, oh, nice start. And I'm like, well, this was more than just a few days on it. Even though it looks like a start, but it was a start before and I just pulled it out to work on. But, oh man, I wish the colors showed up better here. It's so much brighter. It's a very obviously cloudy day. Maybe that's... Still, it's so much brighter and more colorful in person. Like, a lot more. The leaves are like glowing. And they pop so much against the blue. Okay, yeah, sorry for the lighting. It's not good. But you get the idea. So instead of working from the paper pattern, what I do with my kits that are not digital is I take a picture of the chart, and if it's too big, I just do it in sections like this one. And I have an iPad, so I upload it, I email it to my iPad, open it, save it as a PDF, and then I can open it in, Books, Apple Books, that just comes on your iPad automatically. And then when it's in there, you can mark it up. So you can highlight and erase and just mark it up. So that is what I do, and it's easy. It makes it like much more simple to follow. And then I just use the key, you know. But yeah, that works definitely. But I don't know the percentage or anything, which is fine. But yeah, I'm using all the kit stuff, and the fabric is an 18 count, I believe. The artwork is Ruth Sanderson, who also has been on Heaven and Earth Designs. I'm not sure if she still is, but you could do this one from Heaven and Earth Designs as well before. I think you can't anymore, but I think she still has some on there. So, yeah, and the pattern is like falling out everywhere. That's been fun. And I noticed, like, I find this is actually my first gold collection dimensions that I've done. I've done a regular dimensions, and I'm also doing gold collection petite. And this one so far is a lot easier because in the petites, as many have said, it's like more condensed, so you have to change colors more often. And to get the same effect, they have to, like, I don't know, use more strands a lot. So far, I mean, I haven't done much, but so far this one's a lot, it goes quicker and it seems easier. Next, I'm gonna do my stitch along that ended a couple years ago, but I love it. And it's from another Etsy shop, the Little Stitcher shop. I love a lot of her patterns, and it's the 13 Moon Stitch Along. I'm finally done the January moon, which was the wolf moon, and it's also called the guardian moon. I like how in hers, for each moon, she describes it and kind of the meaning behind it. So the guardian moon was supposed to be or represent like the wolves can be guardians, and that's really how dogs came about, was from the wolves who are more guardians. And right now I'm on the February moon, which is the snow moon. So I'm stitching the moon part, and then there's going to be a big snowflake in the middle. So that's going to be a lot of white stitching. But I love the way it's, what is it called? $38.65. I love how it shows up on this fabric. It was a restart because originally I had done a lighter fabric, but I wasn't loving how the moons were coming out on it. Even though my stitches were a lot better actually, because it was a 28 count even weave. And this one is a 16 count Aida, but it is the most like it's like a linen, like it's the most flimsy Aida I've ever seen. I'm like, is it really an Aida? But it says that. It's a 1-2-3 stitch from 1-2-3 stitch Mystic. But it's tough to work on this fabric to make my stitches look right, especially with the lighter colors, like the whitish colors. So I'm not thrilled with how my stitches are laying, really. I don't know if you can see, but they're not the best. But from a distance, you can't really tell, so I'm going with it. I love the way it's contrasting on this, and it's more of that night sky feel anyway. So yeah, and there's gonna be just the whole thing down, and there's 13 moons because it counts like when there's a blue moon, which is the extra moon, every 4 years, I believe. Okay. And then we have, let's do my baby blanket that I'm working on for my son. Gotta take it out of the hoop and the bag, sorry. So this one, I have a picture. It's a kit from, it says Tobin Baby, and it's a Joan Elliot design. So that's what it'll look like. It's a stamped quilt. And it's super soft. Oh man, is my husband coming home? Might have an interruption here in a minute. So I might have to stand up and back for this. I've done the whole border. And up to here. Again, sorry for the shadowy lighting. Maybe I can, sorry, I've got like all these things on my lap. I'll try and bring it in close and hopefully it'll show up better. Almost done the hat. There's a little star in there, but I still have quite a bit to go. Hopefully you can see it okay. Let me just, I don't know what I'm showing you, so I'll just slowly go through it. Love it with the back stitching. Yeah. Uses 3 strands. I gotta keep going on this because I would love to finish it by his first birthday, which is October 15th, which is coming up fast. So that's, I don't know if I'll make it, but I'm gonna try. Yeah. I think I just have one more. This one is my first full coverage I started, Children on the Beach. Wrinkled picture from Cross Stitch Collectibles, and the artwork is Mary Cassatt. Whenever it's nice out here and I go and see like the views of the water, it just makes me want to stitch this so much. And I've hit a milestone on this one. And it's pretty easy full coverage to pull out because I don't have it on a Q-snap. It's small enough where I can just stick it on a hoop and work on it. Like, it doesn't take too much concentration. It's not a ton of confetti except for a little bit in like the person or the hair, but yeah, it's going pretty quickly when I work on it. So where am I at? So I have 27,750 stitches and exactly 25%. A quarter. I'm a quarter done with it. It's on 18 count Ada, 2 over 1. Yeah. So I'm loving this project on 18 count, but normally my full coverages are on 25 count, which I didn't tell you Venus is also 25 count. But yeah, look, I completed another diagonal since I've shown it. And I'm working on that another one. So you can see obviously her dress, and this is the top of the shovel. And I'm got into her arm here. Oh, again, the lighting is not good. It looks a lot darker than it is in real life because this is the start of her arm, her little arm. But I love the way the hair is in this. I love it. But yeah, I wish the lighting were better. But anyway, there she is. You know what? I probably can fix the lighting like when I edit, so maybe you won't even notice. All right, that is, maybe I'll show it like this so you can see it a little better. The little bow. Okay, well, not all of it, but oh, I'm so happy I got to 25%. All right, yeah, that goes in there. So other stuff. I did get actually a new kit, but I actually think I'm going to hold off on showing that because I would love to do a kit parade. Normally this time of year, in the middle of the year, I would do a mid-year whip parade, but I just don't really have the capacity to do that because, I don't know, just the thought of getting out all my whips and taking them all out of Q-snaps and stuff and the packages, it just is kind of overwhelming now. So plus I really don't have much change in most things since my last whip parade. So you would just be seeing the same thing as I did in my first whip parade, the beginning of the year, end of the year, something like that. So I'm not going to do that. I'll wait until the end of the year probably. So instead, I think I want to do a kit parade, and I was very inspired by one that I recently saw from the Needleberry Stitcher, Catherine, and she has an amazing collection, so go check her kit parade out if you haven't seen it, and her channel. I love her channel. I just haven't got to watch things in a long time. But it was inspiring, and of course it triggered me to want to go shop for kits on eBay and this other website we have here in Norway, and Amazon, but I didn't actually get anything. I held off because I'm not supposed to buy anything for a while until like the end of the year when I get birthday and Christmas gifts. So it's so tempting. I just favorited a bunch of things and said I'll come back to them then. And instead I went through my own kits that I have, and that actually helped because I was shopping my own collection. And I counted them, and it turns out I have exactly 50 kits. And I like that number, so I'm like, okay, I don't need to add to this to make it like, I don't know, a weird number. So I like that I have 50 unstarted kits. So I'm keeping it like that until a later date. So I want to do a kit parade, but I need a little more time to film. So I hope I can do it this weekend and get that posted. So look out for that. If you aren't already and you want to see that, subscribe and hit the bell to be notified when I post that. And yeah, that'll be fun. Yeah, I think when I was going through that, it inspired me for like planning for the future when I can start more things. Because I've been wanting to start a lot, like I mentioned before, when I have my 40th birthday a couple of years from now, I would love to like start a bunch of things, and hopefully I'll have the capacity to do that and focus on more things. But then I was thinking, well, it's really hard to pick because I have obviously 50 kits, plus I have God knows how many charts, both PDF and hard copy. And I was like, how am I ever going to pick? But I thought maybe I could like have a thing where I start only things from new designers that I'm not currently working on now. So I showed you, I have a Dimensions gold collection I'm working on, so I wouldn't start any of those. I have a gold collection petite, so I wouldn't start any of those. I'm also working on an RTO kit, so I wouldn't start any of those. So I would basically just be limited to things that I don't have as whips. So that narrows it down, and I can pick from each category one to start. So that really helps me decide. I probably won't be able to still start everything because it's still so many, but that's a thought for the future. But now I'm just going to continue focusing on things that I want to get done, like the one for my friend's wedding and the blanket, the one for my daughter daily, and then as I have time, just other things that I feel like working on. I think other than that, I think I just have life updates. If you've seen me before, we just bought a new house that is big and has a big yard. So there's been a lot of work on that and maintenance, but also home improvement projects that we've been doing because it's an old house. But even though there's not that much, it's built very well and solidly, but just things we wanted to add to it or update. So we've been busy with that. I'm actually on vacation now. It's funny because even though I just recently went back to work after being on leave for my baby, I had like a month or so of work, and now I have 4 weeks of vacation because in Norway you get like a lot of weeks off in the summer. So it's nice because it's a gradual ease back in. And then my family from the US got to visit for 2 weeks. So they left last week, and now we're just kind of staying at home and doing things around the house and recharging a little bit as much as you can with 2 little kids. And I'm very tired because my son has been going through some kind of sleep regression and mental leap. So that has been very tough. I think he's coming out of it now because last night, for the first time in like many, many months, he slept through the night. And I track my sleep on my watch, my Apple Watch. And for the first time, probably since he was born, I just saw a steady line of sleep with no waking up, like not even to hear him or to go to the bathroom or anything. It was just steady sleep, and that was amazing. I still only got 6 hours because I went to bed too late. That's my own fault though. I could fall asleep right now. He's napping. But hopefully we're coming out of that. There was a time when he was waking up like 10 times in a night. It was horrible. So I need to catch up on sleep. He's almost 9 months now. It's crazy. I feel like I was just announcing that I was pregnant to you all. And now he's as old as his pregnancy was long. So crazy. But I think that's all for now, and I really hope I can film and get up that kit parade within the next week or so. So I hope to see you then. But other than that, happy stitching, and I'll see you, I don't know when, but hopefully not another couple months. But all right, I'm gonna go like either get coffee or fall asleep and actually clean up this place because it is a mess. All right, see you all later. Bye.